Hello. Hi, hi, hi. I almost put the music too far down. Let's go. Hi, guys. What's up, you hazy fucks? Hazy Bunny's back. I know it's been a long time no see. I am alive. I am feeling better. I'm feeling much better. I'm still not at 100%. I'm still getting like really bad headaches, and as you can probably hear, I am still slightly congested. Let me switch over. Oh, there I am. But yes, I am alive. I am relatively well. I am just, like I said, I'm still super congested. I'm not really in the mood to play video games today, but we'll see. We'll see. I have to get up early tomorrow, so this is going to be a short stream. I will probably be done by uh at the latest midnight EST. Hello. Hi everyone. Hi CJ. Hi Swirls. Hi Lou. How's everyone's night going? How was your weekend? Especially if you partook. Haha. We know what weekend it was. Oh, I love this song. I love the Nintendo mix. I'm glad your weekend was fantastic, Lou. What did you guys do? What did you guys do in the 5 days that it's been? Full of poetry writing? Yes, we love spoken word. I've been editing. I've been editing most of the day. It took me like 3 hours to get one TikTok done because I couldn't figure out how to do something faster because CapCut does it very slow. So I ended up having to open another editing application to do what I needed to do and then port it back to CapCut to finish it. So I haven't linked my recent ones to y'all, have I? No, you haven't, but we figured it was because you hadn't been feeling well, so we didn't want to bother you. We figured you would come back in time. You know, it was one of those, if we didn't hear from you from a certain amount of time, we were like, okay, no. It's time to bug her. It's time to bug them. Hey, where you at? Where you at? Where you be? But you're here. We're happy you're here. I'm happy everybody's here. Now, tonight I'm probably not going to be, I think I already said this, I'm not planning on playing a bunch of video games. Tonight we are actually going to do a couple of reacts for about an hour or so, and then at around 10:30 we'll see how I feel. Not 10:30. At 10:30. 10:30 we'll see how I feel, and if I'm feeling okay and this headache has lessened a little bit, we will actually play a little bit of Pokemon tonight. I still haven't leveled Badoo. I haven't gotten their friendship up high enough. I've been going through all of the routes trying to catch all of the other Pokemon that I can, but I don't want to evolve anything unless it's on stream. So that I've been trying to avoid catching higher evolutions of stuff, you know? But because I think I'm not sure exactly where to post these uploads because I don't think I can stream. So, the poetry stuff can go in creations, can it? Yeah, we have a section for creations. Poetry is a creation. That's fine. Hey, Luden, I'll sleep lurk. That's okay. I'm sorry I can't stream earlier yet. Hopefully, I will be able to soon. Hopefully, during the summer, I'll be able to stream a little bit earlier. I don't know if I'll be able to stream during the day yet, but I'll be able to stream a little earlier. I'm glad I catched you. I'm glad you caught me too. Do. Haha, hee hee. No? Okay. Where is my music? I don't want to play this again, but I mean that fucking works. We're playing Nintendo stuff. This is fine. This is not fine. Let's play from VGR. There we go. I can post them all. There's like a 6 hour slow time, which I totally get. Yeah, it's just to avoid like spam and shit. But just post them post them every now and then. It's fine. Blech. These videos for today's rack, but oh my fuck, yes, the weird evolution methods, the ones that I pinned. I'm a blessing, hang in there. I sure will. Thank you. Oh, So some updates. As you probably can see, we are at 190 out of 200 fucking followers. Woo! 190 out of 200 followers, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of them came from TikTok. The civil rights TikTok, well, one of them anyway. The civil rights TikTok is at like 3,000 views. Over 3,000 views. It's got almost 500 likes, which is the most likes I've ever gotten on a TikTok video. So it is reeling in, and it is gaining me followers on the TikTok day by day, and I'm super stoked and excited about it. And I guess excuse me. You're based as fuck, like, fam, who the fuck wouldn't? Look, I know it's like, look, it might not be a lot to be excited about, bless you, thank you, but it's exciting to me because I feel like I've never gotten this far. I've never actually gotten the TikTok to flow over into the Twitch, except for with CJ. CJ came from TikTok, you know what I mean? And I haven't been able to really get it to flow over since, in my personal opinion. So over the past couple of weeks, we've gotten some new names in, we've gotten some new faces in, and that makes me excited because it makes me feel like I'm doing something right with my hobby for once. And wait, me? Did I come from TikTok? Yes, you came from my TikTok because I had made the 12-hour announcement for Zelda, and that's when you popped up. That's around the time that you popped up last year. It's almost been a year. It's almost been a year, CJ. It's almost been a whole year. But yeah, CJ came from TikTok, and now I've got a couple of other voices that came from TikTok, like Clay came from TikTok, so we're looking pretty good, and I'm pretty proud of myself. And it might not be a lot to be proud of for you guys, but I feel like I'm doing something right, and I think I'm doing something right, basically. I think we're doing what we should be doing. I posted another TikTok today. I'm trying to make sure I post one every time I stream tomorrow, and I'm trying to make it relative to what I'm streaming about, so that way if you see it and you pop over, I'm still playing that game. So I've been planning stuff out, and I know I'm a variety streamer. I would like to hunker down and focus on a couple of titles at a time, and yeah, I just got the 200 not that long ago, so I get it. It's huge. It feels great, especially when you can actually see the growth, and you can see the view count going up. And I've been really good about not paying attention to my view count during stream because I'll start to hyper focus on it, and it'll just be not great. You know what I mean? But why isn't my autoplay on? I don't know. I will figure that out later. Regardless, it's just a little overwhelming for some things. I actually got the 301 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and that's a huge milestone for me. Oh, thank you. That actually reminds me. I have made an executive decision for in May to start streaming 4 times a week. And yes, I know everyone was worried about me getting burnout, and I promise I will not burn myself out. I just personally felt like I wanted to add another day, especially with the Dawntrail expansion coming up in Final Fantasy XIV. And Final Fantasy XIV is literally my favorite game. So, starting, I'm going to say next week, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, asterisk. Okay? But starting next week, we are going to be playing through all of A Realm Reborn. Not all of A Realm Reborn, but we're going to do the new game plus of everything in 14 so that I can remind myself of the story and everything and what's going on before Dawntrail. I only have 2 months to do it. I don't think that's enough time, and that's okay. But we're going to try to get through all of the expansions in the new game plus stuff before Dawntrail comes out. Which means, if you find 4 is always too much, you can always switch back, but I love the idea of more Hazy streams. Thank you, Swirly. I'm glad that you guys want to see more of me, because the real goal is to stream 5 days a week, and then eventually every day. But I don't want to stream every day all the time, but I'm just trying to work myself up, because in July, In July, my affiliate anniversary. Oh, Apocalypse! Resubbed for the 2 months. Welcome back into the Dream Cove. Thank you for subbing, buddy. Hazy B Moko. Or is that Hazy B Stony? Yeah, that's Hazy B Stony. Is that you telling me? Is that you telling me? I am prepared. I know exactly what he wants. Everybody ready for Bing Bong without the redeem? Because the Bing Bong redeem is still there, which means I'll take 2. Same, I do want to be there for your streams. I'm recognizing I can't be there for all of them due to my body crashing on empty gas. Yeah, no. I don't expect everybody to be at every stream, except for a very specific mod. And even he can't be at every stream. So I'm not upset about it at all. I know Hazy will beat my ass if I don't take care of myself. That's because you'll beat my ass if I don't take care of myself. Okay? You can't expect me to take care of myself if you don't take care of yourself. How is that fair to me? You explain that to me. How is that fair to me? I would, but low on points. That's okay. Bing bong. And Twitch hasn't given me my 350 for subbing. Twitch is on some bullshit. Please check your subs. Make sure they didn't accidentally expire too early. Because, like, they should be able to do that whole thing. I backed out and came back? That's so weird. But I know Twitch had tweeted something out about their subscriptions being weird. And they said that it would be fixed by May 6th. So all you have to do is make sure you subscribe or resubscribe by May 6th. And it should fix all of your streak stuff. And, apparently whatever your last sub, wherever it ran out, it should pick right back up and give you those extra days back. According to the Twitter. Don't count me. Oh, Discord never sent the happy Cushmas bitches message? That's great. That's great. I'm gonna pretend that it did, and I love it. I love it. Cushmas. I'm gonna call it that from now on. Twitch is just hating because I resubbed with Google Play points. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck giving them real money. Fuck all that. Oh, I'm getting some stretches in. And then I lost track of what I was talking about. Oh, in May, I'm going to start streaming 4 times a week. The options for the 4th stream are Sunday or Saturday. Excuse me. Whew. Am I the only one who's been convenient with subs? Mine is still there. I'm glad it is, because I've been having trouble in, like, other people's streams where I'll sub and they'll take my money and then my sub disappears like a week later and I can't resub. But I don't have any of the sub benefits and I won't get my money back. So, Twitch says that they've apparently fixed the issue. So, hopefully they fixed the issue. I'm glad that it has not affected you. Yeah, no, fuck that. But, fuck, what was I saying? 4 streams a week starting next week. Speaking of next week, I am going to be extremely low energy. Okay? And I'll tell you why, okay? I will tell you exactly why. So, at the end of this week, right? So we've got 4 streams this week. Okay? Next week we're only going to have 3 streams. I know I said May, but next week is the last week of April technically. So we're going to have 3 regular streams. The week after that is when we're going to start having 4 streams a week. So the options for that are going to be Sundays or Saturdays. I will post a poll in the Discord and over Twitch over the next couple weeks to have you guys vote on that. Exclamation point Discord if you're not in the Discord already. And then, so here's how this is going to go. Today, obviously, we're streaming, right? And then tomorrow, we're going to stream Genshin. We're going to try and finish the Fontaine story, right? And then Wednesday, we're going back to our Wednesdays, okay? Because I skipped out last week, and I know you guys want the drama. So, Wednesday, we're getting a Wednesday, okay? For sure, we're getting a Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, I have to close at my part-time job. And whenever I have these closing shifts, I'm always a lot more tired than I usually am. So since I'm closing on Friday and we're doing that Saturday 10-hour stream, next week after that is going to be extremely low energy. Because I have a 10-hour stream to do this Saturday. And then Sunday, I'm supposed to be doing something with another content creator. It's really Sora. I haven't confirmed that yet. And then Monday, and then next week is the week that my boss at my current part-time job goes on vacation. So I have a lot of hours this week. So when I say I'm going to be low energy, next week might literally be short little 1-hour streams. Even Poke Monday might not be Poke Monday next week. And I will let you guys know all of that via Discord and Twitter by Sunday. Okay? Once next week is over, right? Oh, that was the other thing. I have to work 6 days next week. Because I have to work my other job too. So that's the other thing. So once we get through next week, hopefully sleep schedule will be fixed and schedule will be back to normal. And then starting May 5th, we will start having 4 streams a week. Okay? So you will know whether that extra stream is going to be on April 5th or April 11th by May 1st. Okay? That's how long I'm going to have the poll going on. So hopefully that works out for everybody and we're all good. Now, tonight, right? I want to do a lot of Pokemon stuff. I really do. But I can already feel myself being tired, so I figured we would just keep it very simple at Reacts, and we'll get back to the grind of Pokemon either next week if I'm not exhausted, next Monday if I'm not exhausted, or if not the Monday after that. I do not want Pokemon to be this like 6-month-long thing like Breath of the Wild was, and honestly, I feel like I'm progressing through it pretty decently. I'm getting distracted a little bit here and there. But here's how May is, speaking of grind, ha 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 ha, he he he. But speaking of May, here's how that extra day is going to work, okay? I have a lot of games in my repertoire. So once we get through the story of Final Fantasy 14, which by the way, I'm sorry ahead of time, my Validate fans. Validate in May is only going to be twice every other week, and same thing with June until we finish this venture back into 14 that I've really been wanting to get into. Okay, all right, just for a couple months. Just for a couple months, we're going to be a Final Fantasy 14 streamer. All right, okay. It's just going through the story, getting the nostalgia done. You guys are listening to me cry and all that bullshit. So like, everything's gonna be fine. Okay, everything's gonna be good. You can be grumpy all you want. Don't worry, it's still gonna be there. Besides, we only have get your ass back here, Swirly. We only have a couple of dates left, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to pull and tug at this game as much as I can. With that being said, if we do streams on Sundays or Saturdays, I can include 2 games. So if you guys want an extra date, or if you guys want a validate, okay, we can do a date first and then get into 14. However, you gotta behave, because validate can get super duper fucking distracting, okay? And I will say that usually on Sundays I do have to work, but I get off at around 4 or 5 o'clock EST, which means I could start stream at the earliest 7. On Saturdays, I could start at 5 or 6 because I'm usually off on Saturdays. If I end up working on Saturdays, I will automatically move the stream to Sunday if Saturday is the day you guys pick. Okay? So as long as we're all in agreement with that, and as long as we're all fine, then we can move forward, and I won't make you guys angry, okay? And you guys can go back to having sweet dreams. I make no promises. Swirly, don't worry. It's not going away forever. Alright? It's not going away forever. It's just temporary. It's just until I finish my little project, alright? I promise. Excuse me. The only times I've cried on your channel is the surprise birthday stream you have for me. I'm never letting that go. Fontaine stories, and there's a scene in 14. Home deserves so much better. Oh my god. Look, there's a lot in 14. There's a lot in 14. 14 has made me cry many a time. But I need to get up and grab something, but I need to spin around in a circle so I can remember what it is. So I will be right back. Okay? I will be right back. Okay, I figured it out. I needed to get up and stretch. Also, I love how I said I'm gonna start streaming Final Fantasy 14 more often, and every single clip that this thing has decided to show has been 90% 14. And it's like, yes, I know, I missed this fucking game. Please stop reminding me. Jesus Christ. And then the Fire Nation attacked right after that. Ooh, okay. What I'm supposed to do now? You gonna have to back it up. I might never come down. I love this song. Alright. Let me switch on back over just in time. Okay, there we go. I am here. I am alive. I am ready. I'm ready. Are you guys ready? So, once again, we have a couple of videos to watch. We are not going to watch all of them. I don't know how many we're going to watch. I have 3 videos to choose from. Oh no, I saw the Alhaitham roast came up. Let me go into studio mode real quick so I can make sure I'm actually ready for you. Because I'm like almost never ready for you guys. Ah, my neck! I wanna hurt. That hurts so bad. It hurts so bad. Okay. Alright, yeah, I am ready for you guys. Okay. Ooh. Alright. So here are the videos that we have to choose from. We have every Pokemon evolution method ever, Gens 1 through 7. We have every Pokemon form change ever, Gens 1 through 7. And then we have all 60 special evolutions in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which finishes out this one. Did I break my neck? No, I'm good. It's just been stiff. It's literally been stiff. So, I think I'm gonna start off with every form change, because a lot of these I've never really, like, known that there was, like, form changes, and I don't know what they mean by form changes. So, we're gonna start off with this one, if that's okay with you guys. We're gonna start off with this one, and then after this one, wait, if I full screen it, will it look better? That probably looks better for you guys. We're gonna start off with every single form change, and then we'll go to every single evolution method. Because I am kind of interested in this whole thing. So, I didn't mean to turn the music off. I did, but that's okay. Let me just switch on over to here.
Some Pokemon stay the same forever, others evolve.
How's that for you guys?
But even more than that, some of them can't help themselves and just have to keep on changing into different forms. So we'll take a look at which Pokemon can have different forms.
I mean, does it sound good? It should be good.
Them, if indeed they can change at all. The first Pokemon that could even be considered to have different forms in the first generation might be Nidoran, with having a male and female
with the subtitles on? Yeah, sure.
However, this one is iffy,
oh, it's
since they are classified under
it's automatic ones
numbers in the Pokédex, so they're not technically the same at
So
all.
hopefully that'll be okay. Now let me start it over.
It doesn't really matter.
This also counts as my homework.
What's going on, Imperial?
That way I
here.
learn some stuff for my Nuzlocke.
The same forever,
doing homework. Maybe that's what I should call the stream.
But even more than that,
homework for Nuzlocke.
Can't help themselves and just have to keep on changing into different forms. So we'll take a look at which Pokemon can have different forms and what it takes to alter them, if indeed they can change at all. The first Pokemon that could even be considered to have different forms in the first generation might be Nidoran, with having a male and female version of the same critter.
Okay, well that one I knew.
This one is iffy, since they are classified under completely separate numbers in the Pokédex, so they're not technically the same at all, although they can breed. But it doesn't really matter because you can't change in between them. Their gender is locked in, so choose wisely depending on how you want the final evolution to turn out. The next Pokemon to have different forms was the symbol Pokemon Unown. Once you go inside the ruins of Alph, you can find a surplus of different looking letter Pokemon to spell out all sorts of things. You can't change these
Okay,
spellings,
Unknown's
so
kind of
you
not
have to
fair
try and
too,
catch
because
all
Unknown
26
is
of
literally
them. And later
Unknown
they
is
added
literally
in
the
some
entire
punctuation to
alphabet
make it
and
just that
those
tiny
two.
bit harder for anyone with that completionist itch. But seeing as how they all only learn the same single move, you might just be better off tracking down the ones that you think look cool. I still think that we could tweak Unknown to be a bit better, but as far as forms go, this psychic type is king. As if by some premonition of the impending weather wars, we next got the Pokemon Cast Form. This small cloud Pokemon changes with different weather conditions applied into battle. It has a sunny form and becomes a fire type, a rainy form that becomes a water type, a snowy form that becomes an ice type, a sandy... Oh yeah, they didn't bother to give it a form for sandstorms. I know that those aren't actually made of clouds in real life, but guess what? Neither is the sun. As an in-game mechanic, this just leaves this tiny Pokemon incomplete, meaning it can't live up to its own gimmick.
Fun fact, I've actually never
But if you think
caught
I'm
a
being a
cast
bit too
form in my
hard on
life.
it, just
I have
remember
all
that
of the
if you have a
cards,
shiny
but I've never
cast
actually
form,
caught a cast
you
form.
would never
That-
know it once it
that-
changes forms.
Hold on a second. Guys, can I be in...
Remember that if you have a shiny
Guys, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Guys. Guys. Are we being fucking for real right now? I'm not fondling the cast forms. No, that's what's not happening. It's... I can't... It's... I'm not saying it, but... Guys... Right... You guys see it, right? That's... Anyway.
cast form, you would never know it once it changes forms, since they don't have any different colorings. I don't think they technically count as different forms.
No,
but
Swirly,
we'll
we're
go
not
ahead and
fondling
note
the cast
Spinda,
forms.
who can have unique spot patterns on its head. These are determined by Spinda's personality value when it's generated by the game.
Oh,
and makes
that I
each
didn't
one
know.
different.
I don't think I've
Since
ever caught a
there's over
Spinda before in my life
3 billion
either.
different
But to be fair, I
possible
haven't played the
combinations for
original
Spinda to
Pokemon in
have,
so long.
which is just ludicrous. And unless there are some real enthusiastic Spinda fans out there, I'd imagine that it's likely that there are certain patterns of Spinda that have still never been caught within the game. Now we get to a legendary Pokemon with the otherworldly Deoxys.
Ah, yes,
This
the
alien
best
being came
legendary.
on a meteor
Not the
and has
best, but
plenty of
he's
unique
one of my
properties
favorite.
that are foreign to this planet, one of which includes changing its forms.
Hear me out. I wish they put Deoxys in Smash and not Mew. I feel like Deoxys in Smash would have been so much more cooler. I feel like Deoxys in Smash would have been Min Min before Min Min was Min Min.
Deoxys has its standard form, but can also change into attack form, defense form, and speed form.
Ooh.
As the names state, these changes come with sweeping stat changes that allow Deoxys to switch between outrageous attacks, defenses, or speed, also making it incredibly versatile. Now, starting off was a bit strange because in Gen 3, you couldn't actually change the form in the game, but they were actually game locked, meaning that Deoxys would be in its regular form in Ruby and Sapphire, it would be attack form in Fire Red, defense form in Leaf
Deoxys
Green,
over Greninja and
speed form in
Incineroar.
Emerald.
Yeah, see, like, yeah, because
Every
like
other
first off,
generation since
right there, this alone, right? He has his standard form, and then he can shift between these forms with his down special or something like that. You know what I mean? So like this would be his standard form, and then he gets into his speed form and he's just faster. Like he can move faster and jump higher or something like that. When he's in his defense form, he can get super armor whenever he charges a smash attack, hits harder, but moves slower. And then when he's in attack form, it can be very similar. Oh no, that's what it would be. He could form shift to one of these, but then when he hits a certain amount of damage, I guess, kind of like Lucario, he would shift to this. He would shift to attack form. Or he would like get an aura or something like that. I feel like that would be perfect. The Regigigas smoking art on Kushmas, I sent it too early. Fuck. Wait, send it again, because I have no idea what you're talking about. Send it again and tag me. I want to see that.
Hence, there's been a meteorite somewhere in the game that you can take Deoxys to and cycle through its different forms so that you can have them all. But now we get into forms that are a bit more complicated, starting with Burmy. This bagworm
Burmy?
Pokemon
Oh
covers
yeah,
itself
the
with
pink one's
scattered
pink and
items
one's
around
blue.
the area.
They all look like old
When you
men.
first meet it, it's covered in leaves. But if you were to go to a desert environment, it would get a sandy cloak. Or if you went into the city to battle, it would get a trash cloak. This change happens automatically just by battling in different areas. But the cloaks don't really change anything about Burmy except its outer appearance. That is, until it evolves. Now a male Burmy will evolve into Mothim and that'll be the end of it. However, a female will evolve into Wormadam. When Burmy becomes a Wormadam, whatever cloak it has at the time becomes permanent. This not only changes the type of the Pokemon, but even their potential movesets and their base stat distributions.
Yeah,
So
this
that's
is
a
the one
lot
that
of
I have to
different
do. I'm gonna
forms
have to
for
catch a
an
bunch of
otherwise
Burmy.
pretty average bug line.
I'm gonna have to catch. Oh no,
Another
I have to
perfectly
catch
ordinary Pokemon
girls.
is Cherubi, the tiny grass type with the unsettling double head situation. But it evolves into Cherim, who can either be super emo or overbearingly full of
super
positive energy.
emo.
Cherim is usually
It can either be super emo. Is that what he said?
overbearingly full of evolves into Cherim, who can either be super emo or overbearingly full of positive energy.
Jesus Christ. So he either evolves into, so I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Or because it's not your fault but mine. Like, what the fuck? There's no in between. We have Clitoris. I hope Clitoris evolves into this. I really hope Clitoris evolves into this.
Cherim
Where
is
are
usually in its
you?
overcast form, but once anyone calls sunlight onto the battlefield, Cherim will blossom into its sunshine form, due to its signature ability Flower Gift, which also raises its attack and special attack, along with the allies. So Cherim shares this in common with how Castform has its own sun form as well. Although I'm not entirely sure how its eyes start on its abdomen and then morph up to its head.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Sinnoh also gave us Shellos, who
Okay,
has
these
two
guys I
distinct
know.
forms.
These
Forms
depend
are
on
known
like
as
what
the
side
West
of the
Sea
coast
and the
you
East
get them
Sea
from.
for obvious reasons. Mount Coronet and Sinnoh created a split in the population, causing them to diverge into the pink form that seems to be the default for the marketing, and the blue one, which is the one that I prefer.
Everyone
These
prefers
differences
the blue
carry
one. It looks
over
cooler.
into their ground-type evolutions with Gastrodon. Obviously, these forms are not interchangeable, and sometimes even game exclusive, to where you can't even get the other one. But you can continue to get the same version if you breed it as well. Now, Gen 4 also did something more with forms by adding gender differences within Pokemon species, for some new ones, but also for pre-existing Pokemon as well. Many
Yeah,
of
the
these were
heart on
not
the back of the
drastically
tail. I
different.
remember this.
However, some Pokemon run
It's
with
not
this
game
concept
exclusive
and
anymore.
have
Some of
changed a
them are.
lot. Like how we've mentioned the
Found it?
different
Okay,
forms
send
of
it.
Meowstic changing movesets. But I'm not going to go through every minuscule cosmetic change between genders. That's for another topic. But
Ooh,
just
okay.
be aware that they're out there. And of course, we can't talk about forms without mentioning Rotom.
Oh
This
god.
tiny electric trickster has made quite a name
Cello
for itself by
specifically?
having
Yeah, I don't
numerous
think they've
different
done it since, like, the
iterations
original
throughout
Gen
the
4.
competitive scene, filling out different roles. The
That,
standard
okay, hold on.
form
Let me look at this. Oh, let me play
of
that.
Rotom
But let
is
me
an
look at this.
electric and ghost type, which is unique to this day.
Oh!
But originally, this was true for all of the forms of
I
Rotom.
forgot. This
Now
is
these
so
forms
lit
change
because
their
it's a
types,
fucking
keeping the
fucking
electric-
coughing. Hold on. See if I can do this right. Hold on. It's a coughing. And I love it. I want to bring it up. Rotom freaks me out. Why does Rotom freak you out? Rotom washing machine W. Look at this. This is gorgeous art. I love this. I love everything about this. This is great. This is awesome. I love that the bong is Galarian wheezing. Or Galarian coughing. Right? It's Galarian coughing, not Galarian wheezing, right? Either which way, this is fucking cool. W Sleepish reminding me I can wash my clothes in Rotom. Yeah.
But
I sent the
changing
link
up
to the OP for credit. Yeah, no. I have it right here. Or is Susuke? It's right here. Go follow them. This is amazing. And also their thingies are in the thingy. Their thingies in the picture. This is their signature. Whoop whoop. Also your dishes? It turns into a dishwasher too? I mean, yeah, I guess it is
goes
dishwashing form.
when you integrate it with different appliances. Rotom Heat becomes a fire type.
Oh!
Rotom Wash
My
becomes
cat,
a water
everything's
type,
fine.
Rotom Mow becomes a grass type. Rotom Frost becomes an ice type. And Rotom Fan becomes a flying type.
Flying electric
They
is
all share
probably
levitate
dangerous, bro.
ability, which is pretty useless on the flying one, but they can also get their own unique moves for their new types. But they will forget it if transferred to any other form. And of course, there's the extra Rotom Dex form that can't be used in combat, but it does have all sorts of useful features to help the player out. There are actually quite a few form changes down at the
I
bottom
feel like
of the
Rotom
Sinnoh
should
Dex.
be a fucking
and if
legendary.
you go all the way to Spear Pillar, you might be able to find Giratina, the Renegade Pokemon.
Renegade.
But as
Renegade.
opposing as Giratina looks already, it can change to its origin form. This is done by giving it the Greasiest Orb hold item that
The
also powers
Greasiest
up its
Orb.
moves. The standard original form is known as its altered form, whereas its alternate form is known as its origin form. Even though its altered form is what it originated with, it's kind of all backwards. There's also Shaman, whose forms I've discussed before, but there's the standard version of the Hedgehog called the Land form.
The land
But
form.
with the use of the Gracidia flower, Shaman can transform into its Sky form. It does gain the flying typing with this change, and it even rearranges some of the stats. But this is probably one of the most temperamental forms out there, because it reverts back a lot. Shaman will go back to its land form at night, if it becomes frozen, if you deposit it into the PC, or into Pokemon Bank,
Oh.
and also when you put it in the daycare.
So basically, if anything
So hopefully
happens
you
to
won't
it,
be
it
too
reverts.
Dead set on keeping Shaman in Sky form, because due to its extreme fragility, that's probably a losing battle. And of course, there's Arceus, the creator
This one's
of
not
the
even
Pokemon
fair.
universe. Usually this creature of legend is a normal type, but given any of its various plates, can change into a different type altogether to be ready for any scenario. And as we've seen already, this transitioning works with the Z crystals of different types as well. So long as
Ah.
Arceus knows a move
I mean,
with that
he
same
he is
type.
Pokemon God, so that actually
And
makes
before
sense.
we leave Gen 4, there's one more Pokemon to note. The spiky-eared Pichu.
Hi,
an
buddy.
exclusive to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. When taking a special event, Pikachu-colored Pichu, to the shrine at Ilex Forest, the spiky-eared Pichu will come out and join you. Now, it's said that this Pichu has traveled through time with Celebi, and somehow extensive time traveling has made it unable to evolve. But that was also their explanation for why this Pichu couldn't be transferred to any other games in the series, when in actuality it just wasn't programmed in. But the spiky-eared Pichu did finally reappear recently as an alternate costume for Pichu in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh, that's
And you best
cool! I
believe
didn't even
that's the
know
one
that.
I use every time.
I'm gonna
With
use
the
that every
sheer
time I get
volume
Pichu
of
now.
Pokemon in Unova, there aren't a lot of standard Pokemon with forms. The first one is Basculin, who is an utterly forgettable water type to me, which is even more impressive since it has two different forms. There's a red striped form and a blue striped form. These were largely found in their
Hello,
own
I've
separate
come
versions.
for the civil rights, the
But the forms-
Bidoof. Well, you're in luck, friend. You're in luck. Everyone has civil rights. Everyone has civil rights in my chat, so enjoy that.
Cannot be interchangeable.
Get some
The
head,
only
it's your
real
birthday.
difference is
You
found
said we
between them is
wouldn't
that
bring
they
that
can
back
have some
up.
different
I'm
abilities
not
from
doing
one
that
another.
with the spiked Pikachu. That just sounds
Next
painful.
is the very strong fire primate Pokemon.
W Mimic,
Darmanitan.
welcome in. Oh
This
god,
Pokemon
I was
won't
not paying
be
attention. What the
strong,
fuck is this?
That they can have some different abilities from one another. Next is the very strong fire primate Pokemon, Darmanitan.
Darmanitan?
This
I don't
Pokemon
remember it
normally
looking
is
like
your
this.
standard second stage fire type, but with its hidden ability Zen Mode, it will change its
Oh.
form. When its health is below half,
I've never seen this
Darmanitan
Pokemon
will
before.
shift into its Zen Mode.
I said
which
I'd never
cuts
let
its
it
speed,
die.
but
Leave it
cranks up the
alone.
defenses and special attack. And if that wasn't enough, it also gains an extra tool with the psychic typing. Whether or not any of this is actually beneficial is up for debate, but it's certainly pretty
How's everyone
unique as
doing?
far
We're
as
doing
form
pretty
changes
good.
go.
We are doing some
Next, we have
homework
Jiggling
slash
and Sawsbuck,
discoveries
who have a
for
type
the
A that I
Nuzlocke,
never thought I'd
as
see
well
in
as my own
Pokemon
personal
grass.
Pokemon knowledge.
But these deer
There's a lot
Pokemon
of this
are
stuff
tied
I did not
heavily
know.
into the seasons introduced in Gen 5, in that they will naturally take on the form of whatever season it is, in the wild or in your party.
That's cool.
Putting them in the box will keep them in the same form. And actually, since seasons were removed as a feature, whatever form Deerling or Sawsbuck might be in when they're transferred is how they will be locked from now on. I would definitely lean towards the winter form, but anytime they're in the wild and later gens, they do appear in the spring form. However, when they breed, they can still produce their other seasonal changes, if they've been imported. We also have the weird buff dudes flying around calling themselves Forces of Nature. Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus are all flying type legendaries.
They all look
But
like
they
Dragon Ball
also
Z
have in
characters.
common their possible Therian forms, which change them from primarily human-based to more animalistic. This change is done by using the Reveal class item, which somehow shows their dark reflections or something.
Those are
And they
men.
also have ties with the now-defunct Dream Radar
They
system,
used to be men.
with their Therian forms appearing there.
They're
But
animals
these
now.
forms do reconfigure the stats on all of these powerful Pokemon, and give them brand new abilities to distinguish them from the originals.
Anime
Unova
men.
really seems
Animen,
like legendary forms,
and now
so
with
strap in,
Fursonas,
because
actually
now we'll
yes.
take a look at Kyurem.
The
This Ice Dragon
Duras
type
brothers
is
are
part of
furries.
the main trio for Gen 5, with its new forms even being the box art covers for the second games.
Pokemon, if you would.
Kyurem can change forms by using the DNA Splicer item and fuse together with either Reshiram or Zekrom into
What?
White Kyurem and Black Kyurem respectively. This merging of the two Pokemon consumes the other legendary, actually removing it from the party until they separate again, which is required to move them anywhere since Black or White Kyurem can't be traded or transferred.
That's
These
weird.
fused versions have different stats and can carry over other aspects such as their previous abilities and signature moves to differentiate the two forms. from
Okay, I've
themselves
got
and
to
the
play through
original.
Black and White eventually,
Another
because I didn't
legendary
realize
form is with
polymerization
Keldeo.
was in the fucking game.
Now, this is probably one of the most inconsequential forms in the franchise.
What if they're the Jonas brothers, but the
Keldeo is
Duras
always an
brothers? Oh
ordinary form,
no.
Except for when it learns the move Secret Sword.
Edit the splices
This is a
canon?
signature move to
Apparently.
Keldeo, but knowing it turns him into the Resolute form. But other than the move, it's a completely aesthetic change. Sure, it might be based in some coming-of-age storyline, but
Oh wait, the
the only
splices canon.
possible thing
Apparently.
the Resolute form is good for is telegraphing a quarter of your moveset, so I don't really get it. Unova also gave us Metalwetta, a musical
Ah,
neural and
Unova.
psychic type.
The Unova
However,
region is the
that's
region
only
that I
what's
did
known
not play
as its
through.
Aria form. If it
I did
uses the move
Sinnoh,
Relic
I
Song
skipped
in battle,
Unova,
it can change between
I
that
skipped
form
whatever
and
Sun
its
and
pure
Moon
wet
was.
form. Obviously, the
And then
name
I played
has
X
been
and Y.
focused on dancing as opposed
No,
to
I
dancing.
played. Sorry, I skipped
Turning
Unova,
it
then I
into
played
an
X and
animal
Y, and then I
fighting
skipped
type,
Sun and Moon.
while
'Cause
also
Sun and Moon is
greatly
a low one.
increasing the physical attack and speed. But that's only possible in battle. At all other times, it defaults to its Aria.
I love this form. I love this form of her. That is adorable. That is great. I like the little hat. Here she's kind of a pop star, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I like this little hat. I think this is so cute.
And real quick, this is incredibly minor, but Genesect can technically have some different forms, but it's really purely cosmetic, with the different drives that you can equip onto this prehistoric cyborg. The only thing that it changes is the type of the move Technoblast.
The K-pop
Now
Pokemon
we
versus
get
the
to
Samba
a Walker.
Pokemon? Yeah.
Vivian.
That's the perfect
This
explanation.
is just the regional bug from
Fuck
Kalos,
this
with nothing too
Pokemon
special
and
about
all
it,
of its forms.
except for the
I
fact that it comes
hate
in
trying to get all
tons
this
of
shit,
different
bro.
color patterns. But it's not just random. These different forms are based on the real-world locations of your DS, meaning that your geographical region would have a unique corresponding butterfly creature. The patterns are called Archipelago, Continental, Elegant, Garden, High Plains, Icy Snow, Jungle, Marine,
Scatterbug L.
Meadow,
No, on
which is the
God.
one used
Because,
in all
like,
the promotional material,
because I don't remember which one we can get. I don't remember which one is ours. The one that I remember seeing all the time is this pink one. So I'm going to assume it's this pink one that we get here where I am in the US. This is the hardest Pokemon to 100% in the Pokedex. Fuck the unknown. Fuck anything else with other forms. You mean to fucking tell me I have to geographically trick my fucking Nintendo DS to be in a different country? in order to get all of this? Like, as a child, who thinks to do that? Like, I get it. It was supposed to inspire people to start trading around the world and all that. And, like, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand it. Fuck these hoes, bro. Fuck these hoes. All I've ever wanted was this specific one. This one is the coolest. And this one down here, too. I love these two. These are my favorite. That's all I've ever wanted to see in my life. This would be the most expensive Pokemon 100%. You literally have to fly there to get it. Like, literally. You have no other choice. Unless you get lucky and someone trades it with you, there's nothing you can do.
Modern, which is the one that occurs in my region, Monsoon, Ocean, Polar, River, Sandstorm.
There's more?
Form. It's not that hard to have a Sandstorm form. Savannah, Sun, and Tundra.
Oh my god! One second. This one? This is the one that we get? Fuck this, bro! Fuck this, bro. This is so fucking annoying. Because if I'm, where are we at? 16 minutes, okay. If I can go back to the fucking map that he showed, if I can find it. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this. All of this right here gets the modern one. And the sandforms are ugly. Everything here gets the modern one. Everything here gets the modern one. This is ass. This is ass. Like, where would I have to go to even get the one that I would have to go to Russia. I would have to go to Russia and Japan to get the Vivillons that I want. Japan, I don't mind. I've always wanted to go to Japan. Russia? I'd have to go to fucking Russia? I'm pretty sure some places are restricted to even fly there. Yeah, so I'd have to fly to a different country and ride my way in. That's how rare it is. That's fucking insane. Like, you'd have to get so lucky to get someone to just trade that with you. But no, I gotta get stuck with this basic ass bitch one over here. Now, don't get me wrong. If you like this one and it's your favorite one, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk shit. My bad. I apologize. But come on, man. Like, oh no, Furfrou 2. Oh god. But like,
I'm not going...
this, look at this. This is so pretty. Well, mostly because these are my favorite colors and I'm kind of biased, but like, look at this. That's so pretty. Look at this. That's so pretty. Look at this. So pretty. Even this. So pretty. What brings you to Nova Scotia? I come to collect your butterfly. Like, come on, man. Like, that's such... If I had the money, that would be a YouTube. If I had the money to do it, that right there would be a YouTube video. Going to every single country and collecting their Vivillon. The pink and yellow one is so nice. Yeah, it is. It is. The gray and blue one is neat too. This one or this one? The one on my left or the one on my right? Far right? Yeah, no, I was pointing that out earlier. Pokemon Go Global, literally. Isn't that already a thing? Like, isn't there like the Vivillon and Pokemon Go are like that right now too, right? Because that's exactly what I'd want to do. One day, if I have the money, I'm going around the world and collecting every Vivillon I can see. The white blocks on blue wings, yeah, that's so nice. I love this. It's great. It's amazing.
Possible location for these patterns, but you can take a look at this list.
Here's the list. It even gives us the list. Oh my god. Okay, let me bookmark this real quick. I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna like this video. Do I think I'll ever be able to complete this list? No. Am I gonna fucking try? Yes, of course I am. So just, I'm liking this video for this list specifically. Legit naming the Pavilion Visa, every single one of them. Visa 1, Visa 2, Visa 3. The sand colors are hard to work with normally. Yeah, it's essentially beige, and it's hard to make them look pretty.
If you're wanting to get them all. And there were also some extra patterns given out in events. The Fancy pattern and the Pokeball pattern.
Okay, those are
so
cool.
If you missed out on those, sorry, I guess?
Yeah, that's fair.
Another Kalos Pokemon to have forms is the Flabebe family. This minuscule fairy, along with its evolutions Floette and Florges, have different colors available for their flowers. This makes a lot of sense because they can actually correspond to the actual flowers in the overworld to be either red, yellow, orange, blue, or white. But the petal's appearance is the only thing that differs and it cannot be changed. However, there is data in the game for AZ's Eternal Flower.
I like your Moxie. I see what you did there. I love that.
And it has its
Clever.
own signature move called Light
Lou's clever.
But it's never been officially released into the game. Kalos also gave us the other very fitting Pokemon of Furfrou. This Pokemon is essentially a poodle that you can groom into varying styles. You
Okay,
start
that
with
I
only
didn't know.
being able to choose between heart,
Oh
star,
my god!
and diamond trims, and with successive style points you can gain access to the Dandy, Matron, Debutante, Laren, Kabuki, and Pharaoh trims.
Oh my god. Okay,
To me,
we
it's never
have
worth
to
the
play.
trouble,
We
since it
have to
costs
play.
$500
Which one
a
is
pop,
Kalos?
and Furfrou
Kalos is
will
Sun and
just
Moon,
go
right?
back to normal after 5 days anyway.
Is Kalos Sun and Moon or Black and White?
Cosmetic change? I can waste my money in much better ways. And of course, Gen 6 also brought us the ghostly terror Aegislash. This Pokemon
Gen
is
6?
incredibly tough
X and
to
Y.
battle
Oh, we're
due
on
to
X
its
and
different
Y.
forms. Its ability Stance Change allows it to shift between Blade and Shield form, alternating between 150s in attack or defense just by using offensive or defensive moves. But there are even more ghosts with forms in Kalos with Pumpkaboo and Gourgeist. It's hard to tell on their own, but these haunted gourds come in different sizes. There's
That I
small,
knew, but I
average,
only knew this one
large,
because of
and
Pokemon Go.
supersize, with HP increasing and speed decreasing proportionally with the growing sizes.
That's also
along with
fair. It
rising
is a giant
attack
pumpkin
for
after all.
Gourgeist as well.
Or a giant jack-o'-lantern
Similar to other Pokemon
when it
forms,
evolves.
a certain size of these Pokemon
Aegislash
will
for
respawn
assist
that same
trophy?
size if bred. But an interesting fact is that any wild supersized Gourgeist will always be guaranteed to hold a Miracle Seed, giving you some more reason to try and look for that one. Xerneas, what are you doing? Oh yeah, okay. This one's really dumb, so quick as we can. Xerneas has a neutral mode and an active mode. Active is how we always see it in any media and even in battle, and neutral is just Xerneas when nothing interesting is happening, so let's just move on. Hoopa was one of the mythical Pokemon that came
I
a
never
bit
knew that,
later
but that's
in
fair.
Generation 6. But this Psychic Ghost type also came with another hidden form. When using the Prison Bottle item, Hoopa goes from what is apparently called its confined form to the unbound form.
Oh!
This tower
Hello, sir. I don't think we want to fuck with Hooper. Can we rebind him? Did he say prison puddle? I don't know. What the fuck is this?
also came with another hidden form. When using the Prison Bottle item, Hoopa goes from what is apparently called its confined form to the unbound form. This towering Pokemon changes into a Psychic and Dark type, and
He
it's
looks
given
like a
more power in
Jin,
its base
yeah, he
stats
really
and
does.
even adds new moves. But apparently it can be pretty tiring because after 3 days, it'll go back to its confined state. Gen 6 obviously introduced the brand new mechanic of Mega Evolution,
Yes,
which
yes
brought
it
in
did.
a ton of new form changes for a bunch of older Pokemon. There were first several that were introduced in X and Y, and then they added in even more in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, along with some primal reversions. But then they promptly shunted it to the back of the game in Alola, and just flat out removed it after that. But the franchise mascot Pikachu also got some new forms in the 3DS era, starting with the Cosplay Pikachu. This was a contest-focused Pikachu that couldn't evolve or be transferred out of Oros.
Wait a minute! Why do we get Ghastly here? They all have black tails. Is this what happened? Is this why we remember them having black tails? Because the girls have black tails. They have black tails because they're cosplaying? Then how come the boys don't have black tails? Also, I don't know what's up with this nigga, but he's ready. He reminds me of Arataki. Hi, how's he just sitting in the back of class tonight? That's perfectly fine. Because honestly, the class is probably about to end. I'm getting very sleepy. We're only going to be able to get through one of these videos. I had a feeling, but still. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He's ready to go. And so is this one. They're ready to fight. Look at him. He's posed up. He's posed up. And he just reminds me of Arataki Ito. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm fucking wrong. Give him a little greatsword. Give him a little spiked greatsword. That's Arataki Ito right there. Right there. Tell me I'm wrong.
The costumes each come with their own signature move as well. And as if that weren't enough, we also received Pikachu with all of Ash's various hats. It's a good way to be nostalgic for your favorite seasons of the anime, but other than a special C move, there's not a lot different here. Now,
give him his tiny
there
cow.
are some other Kalos Pokemon that we didn't
He
talk
says
about
square
yet,
up cub with his
but that's
old
because
Rock
they
Lee
only
head
received their
ass.
forms later on. Greninja was given the Ash Greninja form.
You know Danganronpa version 3 and the Monokuma Cubs? It's this. No, I've actually never played a Danganronpa game. I've been told that I should play a Danganronpa game. But before I play any other game, I gotta get through all the games in my repertoire.
Only starting in Gen 7. With the ability Battle Bond, Greninja can change its stats and the move Water Shuriken. To activate it, Greninja simply has to feint an opponent, and it will turn into its alternate anime version. But once the battle ends, it will revert back to normal. A similar situation occurs with Zygarde as well. In its native region, Zygarde is just kind of a big slug, but in the next games, it got a lot more complicated. Now there were tiny cells and cores that were scattered all about, but could be combined if you had sufficient numbers into the 10%, 50%, and 100% or complete forms. You can alternate between them through a lab out in the wild, provided that Zygarde has the Power Construct ability. And
It's
of course,
good,
if
but
we're
you're gonna
talking
need to
about
voice
Alola
act a lot of
giving new
characters.
forms to old Pokemon,
Well, guess what? Surprise, surprise. I am an aspiring voice actor, so it'll give me a wonderful practice. I don't mind. Ever since I started playing dating games every single Wednesday, I'm getting a lot more used to, like, reading shit. So it doesn't bother me. Hey, Groovy! Welcome in! I'm glad you're coming in. We're probably not going to be live for much longer. I'm very sorry that it's a little bit of a shorter stream. I'm just very tired today, guys. Sorry.
we have to acknowledge regional variants.
No! Why? I thought I escaped this. I hate this version of Persian, bro. Why does his face look like a beanbag? Why does his face look like a jelly bean? Why does his face look like it was smushed like a pancake? Why does it look like somebody rammed him into a fucking wall and they zoomed out like in the cartoons? Why does it look like someone took a fly swatter to his fucking head? Why does it look like someone took a paddle to his fucking face? Why does it look like someone took a waffle iron and then just removed the burnt marks? Like, can we please? It was so fucking unnecessary to do this to Persian. This was so fucking unnecessary to do this to Persian. I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I fucking despise it. Also, what the fuck is this? Why does it look like my pet rock? Thank you. See? Moxie gets it. Moxie understands what I mean. Oh my god. Galarian Meowth? Don't fucking remind me about Galarian Meowth, bro. Why the fuck would you remind me about that? Galarian Meowth looks like a rejected Fall Guy. And I'm sure I'll say it again when we get to it. Because I'll remember. Also, Raticate. What's in your mouth, buddy? You want to spit it out? What's happening here? Executor pull up with his long neck sucking. I don't know what he's sucking. I don't know what he's sucking that far in the air. That nigga tall. All right, let me stop talking shit. My bad.
These Alolan forms give new typings and designs to certain Pokemon from Generation 1, providing some more variety for the pool of available Kanto Pokemon. By adding
But
in
listen,
more
listen,
ice,
Alolan
steel,
Rattata is the
dragon,
best.
ghost,
Sure.
and any dark types. But these Pokemon are locked in
Look at it. Look at it. Who thought this was a good idea? Why does his head look like a flattened boiled egg? Why does his face look like a bedazzled pancake? Hazy, what? I hate this design. This is one of my least favorite. And then this, I just realized those were not his lips, those are his teeth. Homie is grinning. He is cheesing. He's like, you got my snacks. Look, what the fuck is this? Do you see Muck? I hate it. He's just rainbow poo. Like, he paid his subscription, I guess, to the, like, I don't fucking know. Don't slurp in my ear. I'm sorry, my bad. You're right. That was rude. That was incredibly rude of me. I'll never do that again. But the point still stands.
the regional states, with the only
And like Doug Trio down here. Sorry, let me get rid of the captions. Yo, brother. Like, what's going on down here? Child, dude. Child, dude. Hey, bro. Did you forget my surfboard at home, dude? Chaw. I forgot mine too, dude. Like, what the fuck is this? Chaw, dude. Maybe we should go back in the hole, bro. Like, Doug Trio just became Surf's Up. Bro needs some toner for that yellow ass hair. Maybe he just wanted to be beach ready. Chaw, dude. Like, what the fuck?
ones having potential options being the ones
Muck is my bog water baby? I don't know how I feel about that.
with unchanged base stages, depending on where you evolve them. But now for the new Pokemon introduced from Alola, we see...
Oh, is this Oricolo? I think this is Oricolo. So I have only seen this version of Oricolo. I did not know these. I knew these other ones existed. I did not know what they looked like. I love this.
Oricorio, who from the very first trailer was shown to have different forms depending on which island it was located. The
Ah.
explanation for this was the different kinds of nectar on each island, meaning that you could grab some whenever you want and change Oricorio's
I
type.
adore Alolan
And
Raichu.
this
I
also
do
works
like
with its
Alolan Raichu.
signature
He's
move
cute.
as well, Revelation Dance. We also have Rockruff, whose
Rockruff!
strict evolution methods can lead it to have 3 separate forms: Midday, Midnight, and Dusk form of Lycanroc. These forms are not interchangeable once they evolve, but you could choose between 2 of them before then. The third one is locked behind a special event-only ability to get the Dusk form. Wishiwashi brings us an interesting case in having this teeny solo form being able to change into the massive
Jesus!
School form. The ability Schooling allows Wishiwashi, after level 20, to gain a huge boost in its stats, with hundreds of small fish working together. But you've got to be careful, because it will revert back to the timid solo form if its HP falls below 25%.
So basically, he calls a bunch of friends, and they pull up Power Rangers Megazord and create this. This is a school of fish. This is a school of Wishiwashi. What are we watching, by the way? We are watching every Pokemon form change ever from Gens 1 to 7 from Emperor Cubone. That's what we're watching. Wishiwashi is the Pokemon thought of how many Pokemon can I fit in a single ball. I mean,
battle even harder
technically
at that point
speaking, if it
without the
calls
giant
its
cloud of
friends and then it
backups.
faints and we call it back,
Just
it
like
should
the
be
legendary
fine,
Pokemon
right?
that it's based on, Silvally can have different forms as well. This man-made beast killer has the ability RKS System, which when paired with any of the various memory drives, can make Silvally into a different type. This will also change the
I don't like type no.
attack to the same type.
So, is it literally called type null? Like, this is the Pokemon? And it just, you can just pick what type it is? Which, on one hand, cool. On other hand, I get why it's man-made, because it looks like it has parts from every Pokemon, and that's weird.
Right into almost any team configuration. Next is a new favorite of mine, the small rock flying type Minior. This space rock has a unique ability in Shields Down that gives it heightened defenses and immunity to status. Once its health is below half, the outer shell will break and Minior will be—
He's so cute! It's a shame you gotta hurt him to make him look like this, but that's adorable! Oh my god! Ah, yes, the Pokemon of It's Not a Phase Mom, or are you talking about Type Null? Are you talking about Type Null? Is that what we were talking about and I just missed it? I'm gonna kill myself. Wait, why? Wait, why? Because he said too tight? But they are tight. They're cool. Isn't that's what tight means, right? They're tight. Or is it one of those nobody said tight since the 90s? It's one of those. Are you roasting yourself, Lou? It's no. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a phase, Mom. It's many phases. It's infinite phases.
Much faster and offensively oriented. But that's not all. Because there are many different colors.
Oh my god! I want a purple one. I want a purple one. I want a purple one right now. I want a purple one. I want a purple Minior. How do I get a purple Minior?
Of the inside of Minior representing all of the colors of the rainbow. But those differences are purely visual and can't be changed, so be sure to get your favorite. The unsettling Mimikyu also—
So I just gotta get— I gotta get lucky?
To status. Once its health is below half, the outer shell will break and Minior will become much faster and offensively oriented. But that's not all. Because there are many different colors of the inside of Minior representing all—
Oh my god, I want to catch a Minior so bad, bro.
But those differences are purely visual and can't be changed, so be sure to get your favorite. The unsettling Mimikyu also gives us a little flavor in form changes with Disguise. Mimikyu starts the battle with its disguised form. However, once it takes a hit, it will not receive any damage, but the disguise will break, with the rest of the battle being fought in its busted form. But by the time the next battle starts, it's fixed again, ready to provide that free turn.
Oh, the busted
And
form is it
finally,
laying
we
on
come
its
to the legendary
side,
Pokemon
Lamau.
Necrozma. This Prism Pokemon is shockingly similar to Kyurem. Since
Oh.
using the items, the In-Solarizer and In-Lunarizer, Necrozma can fuse with either Solgaleo or Lunala to make the Dusk Mane form or the Dawn Wings form.
Okay, that's hot. That is hot. Bro skipped every leg day? I looked down for 2 seconds. What you mean? I didn't see this image. I didn't catch this. I had looked down for 2 whole seconds.
Shockingly similar to
Digimon
Kyurem.
Digital
Since using the
Monsters.
items,
Is that
the
what it looks like?
In-Solarizer and In-Lunarizer, Necrozma can fuse with either Solgaleo or Lunala to make the Dusk Mane form or the Dawn Wings form, which also become the mascots for a pair of second games.
This looks like Nier, by the way. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. This reminds me of Nier. I don't know why. The lunar one reminds me of Nier.
Or the Dawn Wings form, which also become the mascots for a pair of second games. These forms of Necrozma gain a lot in their base stats, and also inherit the secondary types of the Pokemon that have fused. But even that's not all. If you give either of these Necrozma forms the Ultra Necrozma
Interesting.
Z,
I don't know why. I
it
think
will
it's
become
the
a giant,
haircut.
shining monster of a dragon type.
Huh?
Z at all. If you give either of these Necrozma forms the Ultra Necrozma Z, it will become a giant, shining monster of a dragon type.
Oh!
Ultra Necrozma gains well over 100 points in its base stat total from the standard Necrozma, as well as the Neuroforce ability that powers up its moves even more. Not to mention its Z move, the light that burns the sky, that pulls from whatever stat is Necrozma's highest and ignores all other abilities. Meaning that this Ultra form is basically another Mega or Primal Reversion.
Jesus!
And speaking of, Pokemon Sword and Shield coming soon are offering up a new feature called Dynamaxing, which causes a Pokemon to expand to incredible heights. But then there's also Gigantamaxing.
That's not
That can
scary.
change a
No,
Pokemon's
not at
form
all.
as well to become incredibly powerful. We don't yet know the extents of this energy in regards to changing Pokemon, but finding out other form changes and their possible methods of transition is a hallmark of the Pokemon universe, and is part of what keeps us coming back for more.
I miss Dynamax dens.
So, those are
I mean,
all
they're
the
still
Pokemon
active.
form
People still do
changes.
them.
Which forms are your favorites? Let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to leave a like, share this video, and subscribe so that you too can become an Imperial today. And we'll see you around next time!
Every new evolution method and form change in Sword and Shield. Okay, I'm going to click on this and not play it, but add it to the list. Because I want to watch this one next. I'm gonna send this to myself real quick. Moment. Where do I put this? That I remember. Where do I put this so I remember? Okay, I'm just gonna put it in Ho-Yo-Ho's and pin it. Not Ho-Yo-Ho's, the lounge. Okay, so there's that, and that is pinned. Yeah, pin it. Okay. Alright, so that's pinned. I remember that. Boop. Oh, my fave isn't here yet? Well, which one? Like in Sword and Shield or Scarlet Violet? I don't feel like going back to Sword and Shield. Well, I'm eventually going to have to, because I have to play through it, because I haven't played through it yet. I keep, like, starting all of my Pokemon games and not finishing them. Annihilate? Yeah, Annihilate he's probably not going to mention in this one. Annihilate's not going to get mentioned until Scarlet Violet. Because this one's still every Pokemon evolution method ever, Gens 1 through 7, and then this one. So we're going to go through every evolution method, and then after that, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to bed. Because I was going to start the game, but I'm still a little sleepy and my head hurts a little bit. At least they have the best minigame, the curry cooking. Which one? Sword and Shield? I don't think I ever got... well, I really didn't touch Sword and Shield then, huh? I don't think I ever got that far. The curry cooking. I remember the camps, but I don't think I remember how to cook. But we're going to go through every evolution method through Gens 1 through 7. Yeah, it's fun with multiple peeps. And it is Sword and Shield? Okay. Is that the next one you guys want to see me play when we're done going through Pearl? Or would you rather me do Scarlet Violet? I don't have to go in order. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going in order. I'm technically starting with Gen 4, just all over again. It's with the camps, TBH. Okay. I didn't really do much with the camps, so that's probably why. But that's just me. Fuck it, do Sword and Shield? Oh god. Alright. I think the only ones I don't have for the Switch is Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Those are the only ones that I don't have that I really want.
What's going on, Imperials? It's Emperor Cubone here.
Alright, throw it back to Emperor
Evolution is
Cubone.
the cornerstone of the Pokemon franchise. The fact that your monster pals grow and change while you do the same is what makes them so special. And for the most part, to make things predictable, Pokemon will evolve once they reach a certain level. Usually lower ones for the weaker Pokemon, and growing proportionately higher with increasing power levels. But not every Pokemon conforms to this standard method. In fact, there are many forms of evolution other than just heaping on more experience. The first alternate method that we were shown was introduced with the evolutionary stones. These are items that with one-time use will evolve specific Pokemon, always to their final stage. And actually, the first time we saw it was with the franchise mascot itself in Pikachu. Maybe just to keep it perpetually locked in its cute and marketable state, Pikachu will only evolve with the use of a Thunderstone into Raichu, and also Alolan Raichu in Gen 7. This item, of course, was also used in Gen 1 to change Eevee into Jolteon, which you already knew.
Yeah.
But, did you know that the only other Pokemon that the Thunderstone works with is Electric? I just kind of figured an item that's been around since the game started would have more than just 3 Pokemon to be useful for.
My store has the Pokeball to play Let's Go. Someone traded it in Mint? Holy!
Usable to evolve Vulpix, Growlithe, and Eevee. And years later, it added Pansear to the club, allowing it to evolve into Japan's official least favorite Pokemon. The Leaf Stone evolves Gloom, Weepinbell, and Execute, and also the Alolan form later on. And later they brought in Nuzleaf, as well as Pansage. The Water Stone is used by many Pokemon, including Poliwhirl, Shelter, Staryu, and Eevee, again. Down the line, they also added Lombre and Panpour. And lastly, Kanto gave us the Moonstone, which is just vague enough for it to be useful on whatever they want it to be, like both of the Nidoran lines, Pokemon that would later become fairies, Clefairy and Jigglypuff, and later adopting Skitty.
Skitty! I forgot about Skitty, I love Skitty!
But the Johto region added its counterpart with the Sunstone, which is equally nondescript and used on Gloom for its other evolution, as well as the puny Sunkern. It was then broadened to include Cotini and Petilil, and fittingly for Helioptile as well. We next got a group of stones that were introduced in the Sinnoh games, starting with the Shiny Stone. This one is usable with Roselia, Toad, and the Dusk Stone.
Oh, hold on. Hello? One second. OBS seemed to drop. Are you guys there? I'm still here. Please give me a wave if you're still here. Looks like I disconnected for a little bit, but the stream did not end, but we are still here. We are on live. We are still live. I promise. I live. Everything's fine. Stream technically restarted. Roll call. Hello. CJ, Lou, Swirly, Groovy, Moxie. The names that I last remember seeing. That was comedic timing. Oh my fuck. I don't even know when it ended. But I am here. Everything's good. Perfect sign that I said I was gonna like oh yeah, I'm gonna end soon. The stream just cuts off. Okay, we're good. We're good. Going back to the Dust Stone.
Used for
if that happens again, I'll just raid out. Okay.
Lampent, and even Doublade. And Sinnoh also gave us the Dawnstone, which is used to get the branched evolutions of Kirlia and Snorunt, but only working with one gender.
It landed on finally, Pit from Smash? Right now, wait, I don't even remember when that happened.
Along with Minccino and Floette later on. And now the opposite of what could be considered a somewhat angelic source comes the demonic in the Duskstone, used for dark and ghost types, such as Murkrow, Misdreavus, Lampent, and even Doublade. And Sinnoh also gave us the Dawnstone, which is used to get the branched evolutions of Kirlia and Snorunt, but only working with one gender. And finally, as of right now, the last evolutionary stone comes from the Alola region with the Ice Stone. It was used with the new Alolan forms of Sandshrew and Vulpix, which is kind of odd considering the regular Sandshrew is just through level up. So the different stones see different amounts of effectiveness, but I do wish that they had some other use besides just evolving so few Pokemon. Like even just powering up their moves as a held item.
That would
But
be nice,
I
yeah.
digress. The only other method of evolution from the first generation was trading. The science of why Pokemon spontaneously mutate upon moving to another trainer is a bit spotty, but it did provide us with some of the strongest Pokemon from Kanto, evolving Kadabra,
That one I
Machoke,
know.
Graveler,
That one I
and
know.
Haunter,
That one I know. And that one I
and
know.
also
That's
the
my
Alolan form
buddy
of the
right
Graveler
there.
line. Later Pokemon to be included in this are Boldore, Girder, Pumpkaboo, and Phantump. But that wasn't all. Generation 2, with its abundance of new evolutions, also had new trades, but with a twist. These Pokemon required held items in their trade for evolution to take place, starting with the Metal Coat, which was used to change both Scyther and Onix into Steel types. There's also the King's Rock that specializes in creating branched evolutions for both the Poliwhirl and the Slowpoke line while being traded. There's also the upgrade item that's used to change the technological Porygon, which makes total sense. But then there's the Dragon Scale that only evolves Seadra. Now this also does make sense, but surely there are other dragons that could have used this item at some point. Trade evolutions were almost entirely ignored in Hoenn if it weren't for Clamperl pulling double duty, by evolving into two separate Pokemon from the Deep Sea Tooth and the Deep Sea Scale.
That's kind of
In Gen
gross.
4, they made a whole bunch of new additions to pre-existing Pokemon, many of which received their own unique items to trigger these changes. Mostly because they needed a reason to explain why trading them now would make them evolve when it didn't in the past. So they gave Rhydon the Protector, Electivire the Electorizer and Magmar the Magmarizer, and Dusclops got the Reaper Cloth. And just like the previous stage, Porygon 2 gets the dubious disc to evolve once more into Porygon Z.
There we go.
Concept got slightly more convoluted in Gen 5 when they had Shelmet and Carablast evolve via trade, but only with each other. Something happens in the process
That's
of
so
trading these
weird.
two that lets their characteristics transfer to each other, and truthfully provide two really great but very different bug types. The only other ones since then have been the new fairy types added to Kalos, with Spritzy and Swirlix. Spritzy
I
was
love
given the
Swirlix.
Sachet,
Swirlix
and
is so
Swirlix
cute.
had the Whipped Dream.
Swirlix is
Rather
cotton
on
candy if I
those
remember
items to
correctly.
morph them into somewhat unfortunate second stages. Going back a bit again, the only other new evolution capability from Generation 2 was Friendship, meaning that once a Pokemon's happiness stat reached its maximum and it would gain a level, it would evolve. This was the case for Golbat, which really is the least they could do for all the hate that its first stage gets.
Yeah.
But it was also what made the Pokemon Center helper Chansey evolve in the new games as well. Happiness also appears
Oh, I
to be
have a
popular
Chansey, I
method of
think.
evolution for the newfound baby Pokemon of Johto, since Pichu evolves this way along with Cleffa, Igglybuff, and even Togepi. But past the Gen 2 crowd, Friendship is also how Azurill and even Munchlax evolve.
When are you guys gonna mention
On top of
Badoo?
just babies, there's Baniri who has to like you to evolve, and then in Unova there's also Woobat, which I totally forgot that's how it evolved, and Swadloon. The next Pokemon to want a best friend would be in Alola with the regional variant of Meowth, changing it up from the standard form. And then also the man-made Pokemon of type Null. Even though, is it really an evolution if just the helmet breaks off and it... whatever. At this point you might have noticed that there were some Pokemon missing from the list, and that's because in addition to Happiness, it is also required that these Pokemon be leveled up at a certain time of day.
Ah, that's why,
to
because
achieve
this
a
is what I
successful
fucked up.
evolution.
Because Badoo has
Eevee,
to
of
be
course,
happy
being the
and you
first
level it
example.
during the
In
day.
full happiness, Eevee takes full advantage of the day-night cycle and will evolve into Espeon during the day and Umbreon at night. What I didn't even realize, however, was that this applied to certain baby Pokemon introduced in Sinnoh as well.
Badoo!
Badoo can only
Yay!
evolve
The
through
one I
during
know,
the
because
day.
I fucked up so
So
bad.
that's why it took so long to evolve in my first Sinnoh playthrough.
Yeah, I felt that.
It's also the case for Riolu, being the only way to get a beloved fan favorite. And then with Chingling, what might just be the Pokemon that I forget exists the most, it only evolves through happiness but at night instead. It's a bit strange to combine two stipulations on evolving certain Pokemon, but this is not the only place where we see time-based evolutions. For instance, the fossil Pokemon from X and Y both evolve at level 39, But Tyrant will only evolve in the
Lister
daytime,
curled up
and
into a
Damara will
croissant
only
against
evolve at
my
night.
calf. Oh,
The same is true for
baby.
Fomantis and it evolving only in the daylight hours for some reason. And even more strangely, it's the same for Yungoos, only being in the day as well.
Oh, look, it's the Trump
But maybe
Pokemon.
that's the case for those two, just to balance out the new Alolan forms, because both Rattata and Cubone himself will only evolve into their Alolan forms in the dark of night. Which
Once
makes a
again,
bit more
it's
sense
a man
than
over
those
here
other
with
ones.
his teeth.
But of course, there's one more denizen of Alola that relies on the time of day with Rockruff.
Hi,
But it's a little
buddy.
more involved. If
He's so
Rockruff
cute.
levels up in the day, it will evolve into the midday form of Lycanroc, but only in Sun version. And the opposite holds true for the midnight form in the Night of Moon version. Presumably they will continue to separate it by version, but I'd be fine with it being able to evolve Rockruff into either form in whatever version I'm in.
That would be nice. I
And that's not
do
to
hope that
mention
we
the
get both
Dusk
forms.
form of Lycanroc, which will only evolve from a Rockruff with its hidden ability on tempo, and only within the 5 o'clock hour of whatever time zone you're in, which might just be the most specific evolution in the entire franchise.
That is probably
But
true.
there are other combinations of time-based evolutions with items, all of which originate from Gen 4.
Yeah,
Sneasel
I feel
evolves
like Gen
only at
4.
night, and
Okay. I feel like Gen 4 has the most annoying and convoluted evolutions to exist in the entire Pokemon series. Especially with, starting off with Badoo, who, as an unbeknownst child, or someone who doesn't pay attention to Pokemon because, all they have to do is read, no one's going to think to check friendship and all that jazz unless you, hardcore play Pokemon. You know what I mean? So for most kids, that's going to be a random event and they're going to be super excited. But for people who are just trying to fill out the Pokedex as fast as possible and they want to make sure that they evolve everything at least once to see if they can learn how to do it, me, completionist Hazy, it's not fun. And I picked the worst fucking Pokedex to fucking 100%, and that's probably why everyone thinks that Gen 4 is trash, but I love Gen 4. A lot of people think Gen 4 is trash. I really adore Gen 4. It's my favorite.
only while holding the Razor Claw, which is clearly seen in its sharp second stage. Gligar is in a similar scenario if you use the Razor Fang and level it up at night, greatly increasing its profile upon evolution. And then of course there's the other baby form of Happiny, who ironically does not evolve through happiness, instead it uses the Oval Stone while leveling up in the daytime. And it's not exactly new evolutions, but these later babies did arise through breeding Pokemon while holding a special incense, because again they had to explain why you couldn't find them while breeding them before. Sort of like Manaphy and its new offspring. But while on the topic of breeding, there is one baby Pokemon that is like no other, and that is Tyrogue. And not just because it has 3 branches of evolution, but how it gets there.
3?
Tyrogue is the only Pokemon that evolves depending on its stats. If its attack is higher than its defense, it will turn into Hitmonlee. If its defense is higher, then it's a Hitmonchan. And if you can somehow get them exactly equal, it will be a Hitmontop.
Oh, that's why they're so
Yeah,
hard to
there's
get.
probably a reason that they don't do these more often. Another completely unique method of evolution belongs to Feebas, that infuriating fishing target from Hoenn.
Yeah,
This
that was
aquatic
a lot of
nuisance takes full
information.
advantage
Hold
of
on.
infuriating
Let's
another
run that back.
Hitmonlee.
That is such an odd Pokemon.
If its attack is higher than its defense, it will turn into Hitmonlee. If its defense is higher, then it's a Hitmonchan. And if you can somehow get them exactly equal, it will be a Hitmontop. Yeah, there's probably a reason that they don't do these more often.
Thank God.
Another completely
you imagine?
unique method of evolution belongs to Feebas, that infuriating fishing target from Hoenn. This aquatic nuisance takes full advantage of the new contest that started in Gen 3, and requires the player to max out its beauty appeal by feeding it far too much Pokéblock. But that's the only way to get a beautiful Milotic. At least it was when contests were still around. But once they went away in Gen 5, they had to create a whole new method of evolution. So they changed it to the Prism Scale that is a hold item used through trading. However, in the remakes, the original beauty method was still viable, but a simple trade is probably going to be easier. Once you find the item, anyway. We mentioned before about the Dawnstone and how it only worked with specific genders. But there are Pokemon that operate with that same specificity, but just through level up. As is the case with Burmy. A male Burmy will always evolve into Mothim.
That I knew.
The female will turn into Wormadam, with the added distinction of its new typing being determined by whatever cloak it has at the time. However, other Pokemon are not so lucky, since only one gender is able to evolve, like poor Combee. The female form gets to evolve into a regal Vespiquen.
Hence why I caught Regina George, I remember this.
While the male is stuck in its puny state forever. It's a little better for Salandit, where only the females will evolve into the brilliant Salazzle, but the male isn't so bad on its own. And it is worth noting that even though they're not different Pokemon, male and female Meowstic have very different level-up movesets and abilities.
That's cool.
Another way the massive amount of later evolutions in Sinnoh got around their previous lack of existence was by moves that these Pokemon had never known before. Aipom, now leveling up with the move Double Hit, will evolve, which is most fitting because it gains a second tail as Ambipom.
That's cool.
The babies Mime Jr. and Bonsly both evolve when they know Mimic, which also surprisingly makes a lot of sense for a Mime and a fake tree. Tom, unfortunately, also got an evolution, and if for some reason you wanted this atrocity, then you would.
I hate Mr. Mime. Why do you hate Mr. Mime?
Because of all the extra weight.
What's wrong with Mr. Mime?
And actually, the remaining 3 Pokemon from Sinnoh.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. He is a little creepy, but like, why do you hate Mr. Mime?
Move, Ancient Power. The move itself isn't particularly that special, having the same stats and effectiveness as some other moves. But it's a pretty powerful name. So
bro, it's a whole ass grown man.
And this would later be seen
he took good care of Miss Ketchum. Lou, no. No. No, you take that back. Take that back. I know that we discussed the theory that Ash is a Pokemon. But I would like to think that Mr. Mime is not his father. Okay? I paused perfectly. What do you mean I paused You know what, Lou? You hear that? That's the water bottle. Drink some water, bitch. Calm yourself. Damn. It's funny. Not horny. Sure. Sure it's not. Sure it's not. Mr. Mime took care of Miss Ketchum just fine. It's not horny? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Mr. Mime and his weird vibrating fingers can fuck off. I hate him. Okay, that's fair.
Evolve knowing
That's fair.
Fully showing off Sarina's powerful legs. And Poipole even got in on the action, knowing Dragon Pulse to evolve. See? This is another scenario where that Dragon Scale would have been perfect.
Yeah, literally.
But of course, there's also the location-based evolutions that Sinnoh created as well. Eevee got 2 new potential forms in the 4th generation, and the only ways to obtain them is to level Eevee up by the Moss Rock or the Icy Rock to get Leafeon and Glaceon respectively, which somehow have counterparts in every other region. There's also Mount Coronet, where Magneton and Nosepass both evolve. However, it's really just any place of sufficient electromagnetic power.
Okay, can we be honest? Probopass is the most racist Pokemon that exists in the game. I'm not gonna say why. But Probopass is one of the most, okay fine, he might not be the most, but he is one of the most racist looking Pokemon in the game. And I don't feel comfortable having to level him up. And I eventually have to go through Arceus. So, yeah. Let's ignore this. It's mild. Dan loves this thing. I'm glad he thinks it's mild. It's a bit much, in my personal opinion.
You can find suitable locations in subsequent generations. And they actually gained a companion in the most recent
Isn't
games with
Nosepass based
Charjabug,
in the statues? I
also
don't
needing these
think.
magnetic properties to evolve. And Alola provided one more location evolution with Crabrawler, evolving at Mount Lanakila to its unfortunate second stage.
Yes, he is, hon? Oh, God,
Now, its
okay.
availability did change between versions, so we don't yet know the finer details, but it's likely that it's just a generally cold area and not as specific as, say, the Icy Rock.
The Easter Island
And though
statues?
it's not
Okay.
exactly a location per se,
Fine.
we do have Sliggoo, who evolves at a high level like many dragons, but only in the rain. And it can't be
I'm
set
sorry?
up rain either. It has to be in the overworld before the battle starts, which can be tricky as it's more up to chance than anything for Sliggoo to evolve. Another unique way created to evolve Pokemon is with Pancham. This cute fighting panda will only evolve into its more intimidating second form after a certain level if there is a Dark-type Pokemon on the team, which is just proof that you can be greatly influenced when hanging around with the rough crowd. But even more specific than just
I
any
like this guy.
Dark-type is the stipulation on Little Mantike. This baby kite Pokemon
Jinx used to be
will
black and
only
they changed it
evolve
after
if
complaints, so
leveling
that
up
might be
with the
worse.
Remoraid in the
Yeah,
party.
but I feel like the
This, of
Jinx
course, stems
thing
from the
is a
fact that the
misunderstanding,
Yanking sprites had
and
Remoraid attached to the bottom as
I
a
don't
symbiotic relationship.
agree that she was
But by the
meant to
time
be
this
racist.
evolution
I
method came
genuinely
around,
think that
the
one was an
Remoraid
accident.
removed from the sprites, so that makes a little less sense. Those are really
And
the
yeah,
only
she
Pokemon
is purple
that
now.
evolve based on other Pokemon, which just leaves a bunch of miscellaneous outcasts that don't really conform to any established patterns. We'll start with the final evolution. For now, anyway. Sylveon can only be obtained when Eevee knows a Fairy-type move, which they conveniently added to its moveset, but it also has to have at least 2 levels of affection in Pokemon Ami, because it just had to be different. But since it is required for evolution, that either means that we'll be seeing a feature similar to this in pretty much every game from now on, or if they do get rid of it, they'll have to give it some kind of new item like they did with Feebas. Then of course there's Wurmple. Everybody that's familiar with Hoenn knows that this is the first regional bug
Jinx was
with
made an
branched
inspiration of the
evolutions.
of the
But a
Gyaru
long-time
fashion
question
style.
that has
Yeah,
plagued many a Pokemon
and I
trainer
think it
is,
just went
how do I get
worse.
the one that I want? And the
Also,
answer is,
okay, another evolution in Sinnoh that I want to tell them to go fuck themselves in. I hate, and I know they do it to sell more games, but I fucking hate the fact that Pokemon Pearl has this ugly motherfucker and Pokemon Diamond has this beautiful motherfucker. Why did I have to get stuck with Ankh-Ruk? Like, and it's like, oh, there's a chance that it'll evolve into a Silcoon. Like, there's a chance, but you can't fucking guarantee it.
you don't.
Just saying.
There's actually no way to ensure that you get either Silcoon or Cascoon, and by extension, Beautifly and Dustox. It's completely random, determined by a complex equation of an arbitrary personality value that's predetermined before you even catch it, which can be a bummer, especially if your shiny Wurmple doesn't go the way that you want it to. But while we're on branched evolution bugs from Hoenn, there's always Nincada. This unassuming ground bug can turn into 2 different Pokemon that are scary in their own
Oh,
ways.
Shedinja!
However, this is the only pair of branched evolutions where you can get them both at the same time. When Nincada evolves into Ninjask, the player must have an empty slot on their team, and after a while a spare Pokeball in your bag was also required. And then Shedinja would simply appear in your party.
Haha, because it
does
shed
have
its
all the
skin.
same moves that your
That's
Ninjask
clever.
will, but now that you have them both separated, you can diversify and play to each of their strengths. And
I like
then
that. That's
pretty much
actually
the
super
opposite of
clever.
that is the Pokemon where you can't even choose which of the branched evolutions you get in Cosmoem. This unbelievably dense Pokemon can turn into the mascot legendaries of Generation 7. But they're version locked. You can only get a Solgaleo out of Cosmoem in Sun version, but if you transferred that same Cosmoem to Moon version, it would become a Lunala. I imagine that this will continue on in future games, but we'll just see if Sword and Shield follow suit, or if they'll resort to some items like the Sun Shard and Moon Shard that stood in during Gale of Darkness. To me, the absolute strangest way to evolve a Pokemon has got to be the adorable Inkay. I
Inkay?
really like Inkay.
Inkay has special
but
evolutions?
it can only evolve after reaching level 30, while holding the DS upside down.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Who thinks about this? Who thinks about this? Who figured I want to talk to the person who figured this out. I want to talk to the person who figured it out, and then I want to talk to the dev who thought that was a good idea. Because that's the most infamous motherfucking evolution. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Is it in current versions? I mean, I know he's gonna tell us, but like, if that's in current versions, does that literally mean that I'm gonna have to like unplug my Switch from the TV whenever we catch this thing and turn it upside down? That's kind of insane.
Idea, I really do. Malamar is the massive upturned, scarier version of its predecessor. But will this carry through in all the new generations? It can still work on the Switch, I suppose, but I guess that means Pokemon really will never be on a console-exclusive system. And of course, as of right now, there's one Pokemon that can't even be evolved in any of the main series games.
Huh?
The newest Pokemon, Meltan, can be transferred to Pokemon Let's Go, but if you do, you can't have it become a Melmetal. The only way to evolve a Meltan is in Pokemon Go, by spending 400 Meltan candy to evolve it. That is a hefty investment, but assuming they do change it so that it can occur in the core games, it will likely be something just as time-consuming or difficult. So, that is every single different evolution.
That's actually insane. They made a Pokemon for Pokemon Go that can only evolve in Pokemon Go. And you can't transfer it back to the game. That's kind of crazy. And I know that like they have Pokebanks, so like if you catch Pokemon in a Pokemon game, you can transfer it and like transfer it between all your games and stuff like that. And I know that. You know what I mean? I know that. That's super cool. I like that. That's awesome. I love it. That's cool. We love that. You know what I mean? We love that. That's fucking awesome. However, I can't get a Melmetal. The Melmetal is coded into every Pokemon game, but I can't evolve it unless I evolve it in Pokemon Go. That's some bullshit. Y'all can agree that that is some bullshit.
Here either don't evolve or simply does so through level up. Which extra means of evolution is your favorite? Let me know down in the comments. Also be sure to leave a like, share this video, and subscribe so that you too can become an Imperial today.
My head hurts now.
See you around next time.
Mine too, actually. That was actually informative and ever so slightly upsetting, and you know what? I'm kind of okay with it. But like, some of those just feel absolutely fucking unfair. Like, because who's thinking of some of this shit? You know what I mean? That's what I want to know. Who's actively thinking to do this shit? Like I said, I want to talk to the person. I really want to talk to the person who flipped over their Switch, right? I want to talk to the person who flipped their Switch over and decided that it would be a good idea to see, oh, hey, let's see if it evolves. Or fuck it. Maybe they were just laying down and they were doing the thing that kids do where they lean halfway back off the TV. Not TV, their beds and shit like that. And that's why. And that's why they fucking figured it out. It had to have been an accident, right? Like, there's no way that they did that on purpose, right? Like, there's absolutely no fucking way they did it on purpose. Like, the fuck is happening here? Anyways, I need to head to bed because it's 11:05. I know, short little 2-hour stream. I apologize. I wish it could last longer. However, I have to get up early for my other job, and yeah, I am tired, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna forget this time. Here's Raid Wall 1. That's the subscriber raid wall. Here is Raid Wall 2. That is the follower raid wall. Oh, hello? Why did that not work? Okay, I don't know why. For some reason in my chat, it's coming up that way, but it is coming up as like this galaxy thing. So on my screen, it's coming up the correct way. I don't know why it's coming up that way in the chat. But yeah, go ahead and copy paste that. I am going to raid out to Petty because I don't think I've raided Petty in a while. Actually, I think I've raided Petty as fuck like one time. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raid out to Petty. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will be here tomorrow at regular time, 9 p.m. EST. And I will be ready to party. I love you all. Night night. And keep dreaming, you hazy fucks. I guess we're sticking with that. I guess we're fucking sticking with that. Yep. That's what's happening now. Bye-bye.